informalized or unorganized sector is because like the food processing shed which we are using is not standard, whereas most of the entrepreneurs will be processing their items. It could be pickle or some bakery snacks. They are processing it at home scale, and at home scale we are doing it at our kitchen or just some rooms available, empty space rooms available. We are utilizing those stuffs. So we also need to use a proper standard factory shed where we can do all the processing activities in a systematic manner. So we are still yet to formalize further, even in terms of our in terms of the working place also for food processing. Also, many of the food processors, they are now mandatorily like subjected to avail the FSSI license. So without this FSSI license, even in the local market, it is the products are restricted to be sold. So I'm sure you will be aware about this FSSI license, but there are still many who are unaware about these licenses, mandatory licenses, and also mandatory registrations like UDM registrations. So in order to formalize the unorganized food sector in the country, especially in all the states and in particular to our state, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries under the Atmanirbhar, which means self-reliance and self-sufficient. So has launched this PMFME scheme, Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises, in all the states in the country. So it was launched during 2019. Now all the states, except some few states, are starting to implement this scheme, and for which even online applications are being invited. And therefore, taking the opportunity of this event of export, our department would also like to encourage the entrepreneurs, farmers, and even the FPOs, groups like FPOs, societies and cooperative societies to come and take up this course of venture in the line of food processing. So when we see the statistics of India, then there are almost, it is said that there are almost 24 lakhs of food processing units which are in the unorganized sector. And out of the total food processing units, 74% accounts in the unorganized sector, 74% in the food processing sector. And out of which 12% from the unorganized sector, 12% is the output, and 12% is value addition. 60% sectors are based on the 74% of the units are something very interesting, and then so would like entrepreneurs to scale up their, and then instead of 1/3 to achieve even more than that. So coming back to the PMFME scheme, I will just highlight briefly about the scheme. I'm sure you have all received of this simple brochure which has been distributed to all of you yesterday. So if you don't have, you can collect it from the counter later on also. So under this PMFME scheme, there are different components of schemes, sub-schemes. So depending on the organization or type of, anyone can apply for this scheme. So existing and new enterprises will be supported under this scheme. However, the scheme adopts approach of ODOP, which means ODOP, ODOP, which stands for District which means that for every district, focus crop has defined in the state. So likewise, for state, we now have Nagaland district, but before the Nagaland district was officially like the focus produced, ODOP has been for ODOP for Nagaland district and Tuensang will be same. So ODOP for Dimapur will be pineapple and pineapple products. Likewise, the rest of the districts like Mogokchung would be coffee, Peren would be king chili, and so on. This information it will be available in our website, official website of PMFME in our state, which is pmfme.gov.in. This is the official website for our state for this scheme. So in the website, all the necessary information is available. So the ODOP approach has been taken to reap the benefit of scale in terms of input, in terms of availing common services and marketing of products. So taking into consideration even the thing, under this scheme, we cannot expect huge factories or industries. However, the focus is given to micro enterprises, so that since there are lots of micro entrepreneurs, majority of our entrepreneurs have this lack of capital, and it is a big challenge for our entrepreneurs. And therefore, I would say that this scheme is very suitable for our entrepreneurs and farmers avail assistance. So the various components would be, the first one is individual micro food processing enterprises, setting up or individual micro food processing enterprises. So for individuals, you can, so in case of, for fresh applicants, in case some individual entrepreneur wishes to set up a fresh food enterprise and you wish to apply for scheme, then once you obtain those login credentials, which you will be receiving, you can log in into your MIS port. From there, you can feed the details about your organization, about your proposal, and documents can also be uploaded. So for these district resources at the DICs and sub-DICs, they will be giving you assistance, hand-holding assistance to fill up all these features. So, and then next is support FPOs, SSGs, even FPOs, cooperative and societies, SSGs, you can apply for this scheme, but for this category, there will be no online submission. But proposals in hard copy with enclosed documents should be submitted concerned DICs, sub-DICs, for them to forward it to the Directorate at Kohima. So this is the procedure. Seed capital money will also be given to SSGs, for which our department is NSRLM department. So NSRLM department will be recommending successful SSGs. So those successful SSGs who are eligible will be recommended to us, and accordingly funds will be disbursed to the SSGs for which they can utilize this seed capital funding, seed capital money up to a maximum of 40,000 and lesser. But 40,000 is the maximum limit. This can be used for procurement of small tools and equipments, and even they can use as a working capital. Also, there will be common infrastructures where some potential groups and individuals will be given assistance to set up common infrastructure at identified cluster areas later. So from this common infrastructure, the micro enterprises, they can use and avail the facilities, the bigger facilities which is not available with her or with them. Yeah. So common infrastructure will also have all the necessary facilities whichever the clusters in that identified zone will be requiring. So by paying some nominal rents, the clusters, farmers or entrepreneurs, they can utilize these facilities. By bringing their produce to the common infrastructure, they can process their food products up to, and then pack it, and then they can sell their own level or can give it to some higher agencies as well. Also, there will be support for branding and marketing. So some potential players will be given assistance to set up equipments require marketing and branding purpose and all also. And for this marketing and branding will be, players will be supporting all our upcoming micro enterprises who will be assisted under the scheme. Not only under the scheme, even the other already existing food processors will be assisted in terms of finding markets through dating. So let me also share with you about the general funding pattern under this PMFME scheme. So this scheme is also similar to that of, whereas the subsidy component, this will not be grants, but in terms of subsidy, it will be given to the selected beneficiaries. So the subsidy component is 35%, and then bank loan, the next will be the promoter's contribution, own share contribution, which will be 10%, minimum 10% should be retained. It should not be below 10% for promoters to contribute. And the rest can be bank term loan. Majority of we all have been hearing the issues of, even if the project has been approved, there are problems and issues of getting loans. It is not easy and simple like thing to get bank loan easily, but under the scheme there is a convergence framework where like loans can be availed through PM Mudra, Stand Up India, and even CGT, MSc, collateral guarantee trust, CGT, MSc scheme support and all. Through these schemes and programs, we can bank loans as well. Of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries this year, they have signed MOU 12 lending banks. So in the MOU, the lending banks, they have agreed to finance and give loan to our selected beneficiaries. So that is the agreement which the Ministry of Food Processing have 12 MOUs. So 12 bank and so on. Many other banks are there. So we will be taking advantage of all these facilities provided by the central government. So this is about the scheme, and also for your information, for any interested entrepreneurs or individuals who would like to avail this financial assistance under the scheme. So you can approach the nearest DIC or sub-DICs in your respective districts. So in the DICs, the department has appointed district resource persons. In short, I will call DRP. So you can meet the DRPs at respective DICs, sub-DICs also. If you are unable to come to the Directorate, or you can take their assistance, and then they will assist and handhold you in preparation of your documents, collection of your documents, even in filing your applications in the MIS portal. In case if you do not know how to register an account in the MIS portal, you can take the service of our district resource persons. They will be helping you. Even for there is no particular guidelines, especially for individual units, but all the requirements and necessary details are provided in the MIS portal. So you can let the DRP assist you and then fill up all the details, which will contain all your details, personal details, your proposals about the program, and even financial parameters details will be required. So our DRPs will be assisting the applicants also. So once the applicant is completely fulfills his application and submits it, the rest the department will take care for the selection and all. Yeah. So this is something about the PMFME scheme, and I request of you who are interested to check even the website. So in the website you will find different scheme guidelines, informations about the schemes and all. So even for if you have any doubts or query, you can approach the DICs or sub-DICs or even the Directorate, or you can send a mail to us also. Our mail details, everything is uploaded in the website. So thank you for the time, and then wish you all the best in the days to come. Thank you.
Processing sector is a trust area for the state. Our resource persons has shared different schemes, assistance available for the food processing sector. Kindly take advantage of it. In the Directorate of Industries Commerce, we have a separate establishment set up to assist the food processing sector. If any one of you have any doubts or need for assistance, as also highlighted by the resource person, you are always welcome to approach us. Well, I believe we have had an interesting day of valuable insights and informations given to us by our esteemed panel of resource persons. It was quite interesting to hear the experiences of our two prominent entrepreneurs, well-established entrepreneurs. The challenges that they had to face, well, the difference was, let me explain in the subsequent sequence. So God decided to make even the rich fisherman poor again. So the rich fisherman also, and both of them were equal in this status. But the difference was, what the rich fisherman did was, although he became poor, he started to devote more in his work. He went for fishing every day, even on bad weathers. Whatever fish he got, he brought it back. Some portion he kept it for the family consumption. Major portion he sold it in the market. What the poor fisherman was doing was actually, he would fish at his leisure time when the weather was good. The fish that he got and brought, most of it, he would use it to consume. And for sale, he would keep only a little portion of it and sell it. So, over the course of another 4 or 5 years, the rich man, because he was selling most of his catch and he was going for fishing every day, even taking up the challenges of facing the bad weather, his investment in labor got the returns in terms of the capital that he required to make further investments in procurement of more boats, in hiring of more has some correlationship, this video. That's why I wanted to share. We have heard from the official from the coffee port. It's quite pleasing and encouraging to hear that the coffee produced in our state is the best quality of the world coffee. And that gives us the added advantage for exports and for business. The challenge of the large or the long gestation period he has mentioned, but again, he also mentioned that coffee is amenable in the cropping. So in the cropping, once that is there, the issue of long gestation period that the farmers would face, that is resolved to a large extent. We have also heard from the official from the Exim Bank, various schemes, programs, loan assistance available with the bank. If you are interested in export as a business, please do approach the bank. We have heard from the lead bank official, SBI. Interesting to hear from him also his personal experiences that he has faced in his endeavor in the challenge to help out our people and our entrepreneurs. We look forward to the lead bank and their assistance in all the days to come. On the issue of the food processing sector, I have already highlighted the need. If at all arises, you're always welcome to approach our department being the nodal department. We have come to the end of today's program, but before we conclude, we have a question and answer session. If any of you has any doubts or clarifications that you have, you are requested to raise your hands and ask the same. Our panel of esteemed resource persons are here, ready, ever willing to answer your questions. So if any one of you has any doubts and issues that needs to be clarified, you may kindly raise your hands. Yes. Can somebody kindly pass the mic, please? Somebody kindly pass on the mic. Yes.
Hello. So I have a question addressed to Sir Uday Pandit, liaison officer to the Coffee Port of India. So my question would be mostly based on sustainable. I hope that is okay with that. Okay, so the thing is, we all know that southwest of Karnataka and Kerala produces around 80 to 90% of coffee production in all over for India. Now, there was this 2019 case that affected Kerala and southwest Karnataka as well, but I'll specify towards a particular district in Kerala, that is Wayanad district. I think it was, I believe, Puttulama village, I'm not sure. But so around 2019 August, there was a flood that actually affected 1/5 production of gin throughout India. Now the thing was that Wayanad district had coffee situated on the Wayanad district, Wayanad district around 1,230 to be specific above sea level at a mountain range of 290-meter high. So the coffee production out there, we all know that coffees have weak roots. So when it's grown on the soil, it actually does not strengthen the density of the soil. So when the flood happened, it actually caused, during the flood, it actually caused more deforestation, soil erosion. So we cannot completely attribute the blame solely to the coffee crops out there, but on the lower range there was another cash crop, which was cardamom. So that further intensified the soil erosion out there. So such a case occurs because of the climate change. Of course, coffee as a cash crop is largely investing. It's really, truly, enriching for the GDP of our country. Now, introducing this to Nagaland. Of course, like our country has, monsoonic climatic condition, and along with the climatic change. My question was, introducing such a non-native species to our biodiversity, what are the measurements or the steps inculcated? Of course, like such a disastrous result might not occur in our condition like in Nagaland, but in case such a preventative action might be undertaken. So what would be the sustainably specified preventions that might be taken? Action plans, practically, as well as research-oriented.
Ma'am, before the resource person takes the question, can I request you to also introduce yourself?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. My name is Achir Longkumar from NIDC Dimapur.
Thank you. Sir?
Hello. Your question is genuine. We have their offices in Vienna also now. So one unity there, and we also hear the same things. But this type of things, you cannot say that you have to prepare in advance. No. First, this is a new crop, and we are just developing the things, and it is not like that everywhere will happen the same thing. In few parts only that has happened at Azadi. So that can be mitigated. You can make your harpoon tracing you can do there, and along with if you have, I think in Vienna there is a gentle slope. Yeah, slope is very high.
It's a coastal region, of course.
Coastal region, but slope. It depends on slope also, no? How much it is destroying. So if you have gentle slope, then I think it will not much. Coffee crop will not be much destroyed. But in our case in Nagaland, it will affect more. I understand. But soil management practices you have to follow. You can make harpoon tracing now there. If you are thinking that this might happen, so you can make harpoon tracing there. It will so that your root will be less destroyed. No? You cannot stop the things, but you can mitigate the things. No? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions or clarifications from anybody? Kindly raise your hands if you have any. Well, we don't seem to have any. We have come to the conclusion of our program. Before we conclude, I would like to once again take this opportunity to thank all our resource persons who have given their valuable time to come here, share their valuable knowledge with us, and contribute to the promotion of industry, enterprise, entrepreneurship here in our state. Thank you, sirs. I have an announcement to make. Lunch is ready. I would like to request everyone present here to kindly partake in the lunch before leaving. Thank you.